Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia here, and welcome back to the Overwatch League Roundup Grand Final Preview. So it's finally time. 18 teams have gone home and already started the rebuilding process for next season, leaving us with two teams who will fight it out for our crown of Overwatch League Champions 2019 in Philadelphia. It's been a long road, but both of these teams have been on the top of their game throughout the season, and now we must find out who ultimately is the best in the world. Our final this year is between arguably the two best teams we have seen this season, the Vancouver Titans and the San Francisco Shurk. These two have been going at it cat and dog throughout the campaign, and both have stage titles to their name. Vancouver were new to the league this season, coming into it as one of our expansion teams. There was a great amount of hype around them as they had signed the runaway roster from Contenders Korea, a team with a massive amount of history and success in that region, and now they looked to emulate that in the Overwatch League. San Francisco Shurk, however, were one of our founder teams and had a rough first season, with this season being their playoff debut. They have had so much success this season due to the building and development process they went through in the inaugural season, and as players became of age to play in the league, the most crucial of these was 2019 League MVP Sinatra, it was clear to see at the end of the first season that the Shurk would be a team to be reckoned with in the 2019 season, and we were certainly right. These two teams have answered all the questions people have asked throughout the season so far, but now, who can get that final clutch and take home the biggest prize of all? But enough with the background story. Let's get into what we will see on Sunday at 8 PM British Summer Time or 9 PM in Europe, as these two great teams go head to head for the last time this season. We have seen a slightly different look from both of these teams as we entered the barrier meta in the playoffs, with both enigmatic main tank players Bumper and Super being dropped in favour of TZ and Smurf respectively. Expect this to continue during the grand final, as there is no patch change between the final and the playoffs. The Vancouver Titans are much easier to predict when it comes to the lineup than the Shurk are, due to the Shurk's incredible versatility and depth of squad. With the Titans, I can safely predict that the tank lineup will be TZ and Janu, with Slime and Twilight most likely to be in the support roles. The Titans have a bit more flexibility when it comes to DPS, as I would expect them to rotate between Haxel, Sumin, Sue and Stitch. I am not expecting to see much from Hureg, as he hasn't impressed all that much. You may see Bumper at certain points, but this would be for map-specific strats, and I would expect them to run TZ for the majority of the series, unless it was going really wrong for the Titans. However, when we look at the San Francisco Shurk, it becomes much harder to predict, especially for their DPS line. You could fairly safely predict that their tank line will be Smurf and Choi Hyobin, being backed up by a support line that will most likely be made up of Moth and Violet, considering they are the only support players they have. Although, it is possible that Rascal might slot into that support role at some point if they want to play him on the Baptiste, but they haven't done that a lot recently. When it comes to their DPS though, they are very flexible, and have a wealth of talent available to them, with MVP Sinatra, Striker, Architect and Rascal all seeing time in the DPS slots during these playoffs. This can add some unpredictability to the Shurk lineup, as they can quite easily change their playstyle between maps. During these playoffs, both teams have looked incredibly good, with only one loss on the board between them, which is pretty obvious considering the stage of the competition we are at. Vancouver are our unbeaten team, currently having had a fairly clean run through the winners bracket, beating Seoul Dynasty, LA Gladiators and the New York Excelsior on their way to the final. San Francisco Shurk were part of a massive upset earlier on, as they lost their first game narrowly to the Atlanta Reign after a massive C9. This put them in the losers bracket. But since this loss, they have been perfect, not dropping a single map in their run to the final, knocking out the inaugural season champions London Spitfire, LA Gladiators, Hangzhou Spark, and the New York Excelsior, all by 4-0 scorelines. Looking at the playoff form of the two teams, the favourites on paper would be San Francisco, considering they have only dropped 4 maps throughout these playoffs, all against the Reign in that first match, whereas Vancouver have dropped at least 2 maps in every game. Another thing to take into consideration is the mindset of the players themselves. Vancouver are having a great time. They are enjoying every minute of their time on stage during these playoffs. The Shurk, however, seem a bit different. Since the loss to the Reign, all I see in the Shurk is anger and raw determination to get the job done, much like we saw from them after they lost to the Titans in the Stage 1 playoffs. When the Shurk narrowly lost to the Titans in the Stage 1 playoffs, you could clearly see their thirst for revenge, and after that, They went through Stage 2 without dropping a single map, coining the first golden stage, and went on to beat the Titans 4-2 in the Stage 2 playoffs. I see this same reaction in these playoffs after their loss to the Reign. The question is, can the Vancouver Titans somehow stop the rampant Shock side? If I'm being honest and use my head, then I would say that the Shock will win this one, and it could even be quite a comfortable game for them as they are looking just so damn good right now. It's actually frightening to see how good this San Francisco side are right now, but I believe if there is any team in this world that can beat the Shock, it would be the Titans. They are the only team that have been truly able to keep up with the Shock side during this season. It would be quite a story for this Vancouver side to win the Overwatch League in their first season, and it would most likely cement their name in the history books of competitive Overwatch, with their history as runaway in Contenders Career and Apex. I do not doubt the skill of the players, but I worry that the old runaway curse might come back to haunt them. The current runaway squad have managed to shrug that curse off, but can the Titans squad do the same? Very often this Titans squad would be the bridesmaid and not the bride back in the days of Apex and early Contenders Career, when they were Team Runaway. Could this happen again in the Overwatch League with the same squad? Ultimately, it is very hard to call these games, and either team have a very good chance of taking the crown. As a neutral, I just hope it's a really good game, and more importantly, a close game. I want it to go the distance. It would be a big letdown if the final was a stomp for one team or another. But I am very doubtful that this will be the case considering the teams we are talking about here. My head says that the Shock will win, but my heart kind of wants to see the Titans win just to finish that ultimate runaway story. Both teams have been incredible all season long, and all I can say is, may the best squad win. Sit back and enjoy, as this will be the last bit of Overwatch League action we will be seeing until 2020, and it is one that everyone predicted, and it should be the biggest and most entertaining match of the season, with the two best teams in the world going head to head, and I believe that they will leave every bit of energy on that stage in Philadelphia as they fight it out for that title. In terms of what else we will see during the final, you'll be able to see Zed perform, and I think that will be everyone will be breathing a sigh of relief that it's not going to be DJ Khaled entertaining us in the final again. Also, there will be loot that can be earned by watching the grand final. There will be 3 sprays available which will be given out one at a time for every hour of the final watched. If you watch at least 3 hours of the final, you will get all 3 sprays. The first spray is called Tailgate, and it features Mercy, May, Lucio, and Soldier 76. The second spray is of the Overwatch League trophy, and the third is called Watching Ball, and features Wrecking Ball Diva and Tracer hanging out and watching the final. You can get these sprays by watching the live stream through Twitch, the Overwatch League website, or battle.net, but make sure if you're watching through Twitch that you do link your Battle.net account with your Twitch account, or you will not receive the loot. Also, during the final, the league will be giving out double league tokens, so if you're near to affording that next league skin you want, now is the time to farm them tokens. Okay, I think that is all there is to cover before the big occasion as we round out our season. Make sure you all tune in on Sunday at 8 PM BST or 9 PM in Europe to watch the final, and I will be back with the results and a look back at what should be the best game of Overwatch we have seen all season. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. See you then!